Right, we should know later on this afternoon, Theresa May is forcing yet another vote on Brexit. This one that says this is the best we can do. The concessions have been made, and we've gotten a lot of new features here that members should like, but it is expected to face an uphill battle here. Then what? The question becomes, do they have a new referendum, or do they just skip the whole thing? Where do we go? The European Parliament Member Daniel Hannan with us right now on what the possibilities are. What do you think, Daniel? And very good to have you.
Hi, Neil. Well, the root of the problem is very simply stated. When members of Parliament asked the country to vote on whether to leave the European Union, it never occurred to them that they might return an answer that the members of Parliament didn't like. And so we're stuck in this situation where the majority of MPs won't accept the verdict of the 2016 referendum. They either want to stop Brexit altogether, or force people to vote again, or somehow decaffeinate it to the point that it doesn't amount to what people voted for. And that means that almost anything is possible, from remaining in the European Union through to leaving with no deal, and almost every stop along that route.
So what are the odds of a whole new referendum? Because it looks like the same sentiment would apply as did back in 2016, or I could be missing it. What do you think?
Yes, I don't think the odds are great, but it is definitely a possibility. The European Union does this regularly. When it doesn't get a result that it wants, it makes people vote again. They did it in Denmark. They did it twice in Ireland. You know, try again, Paddy. We'll say it more slowly for you this time. And they literally refuse to take no for an answer. So that is a possibility. And I think that, I'm afraid the Irish experience shows pretty clearly that if there is a second referendum, it's going to be rigged. They're not going to risk a fair referendum. At the very least, I think there would be a different question. They may also tweak the franchise, for example, by giving the vote to 16-year-olds or EU nationals resident in the UK, but they're not going to risk putting a fair question to the country a second time.
You know, Daniel, what is the big draw to those who want another referendum, another shot at this, to be and stay in this club, the European Union, when in fact so many of the members of that union, all the way from Germany, which is now on the verge of entering a recession, to Italy, which can't get out of its own way, to Portugal, a mess in and of itself. Why would there be anything compelling about being in that club?
That's such a good question, especially when you think that all of the predictions of economic calamity that we were given during the referendum in 2016 have spectacularly failed to materialize. I mean, we were told that within 2 years of a vote to leave, unemployment would have risen by an eye-watering 500,000. It's actually fallen by nearly 800,000. The stock exchange is up, exports are up, growth is up, employment is up, manufacturing is up, consumer confidence is up, and yet the same pessimists who were so determined that we were facing a national catastrophe have now just postponed the date of the apocalypse and said, oh, yeah, but if you leave with no deal, then all of these terrible things that we said are still going to happen. And I think, to be honest, the answer to your question lies more in the realm of psychology than of politics. I think they are just so unbalanced by the country having politely turned down all of the options that the elites used to put in front of them that they simply don't know how to react.
You know, that sums it up better than any I've heard of late. Daniel Hannan, thank you very, very much. We'll know one way or the other later on today. Daniel Hannan, of course, a key member of the EU Parliament.